Yep. I've been laid off. I was fired from a cybersecurity tech role early in my career. And as much as, hindsight is 2020, after you've gotten the roles, gotten the position, been able to progress, I think it's always important to kind of take a look back and talk about and understand what your struggles were in that process. So I'm coming to you today to talk about what my struggle was at that time after I had got let go, I got laid off from a cybersecurity role. Come on, let's talk about it. Welcome back to Struggle Security, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. And today I'm coming to tell you about one of my struggles early in my career when I was let go, laid off, furloughed, whatever term you want to use. I was cut off from employment from one of my cybersecurity contract roles that I had. So I'm not going to belabor you again with any of the filler or a whole bunch of preliminary information, but just say I know a lot of people right now are suffering from the tech layoffs that's been going on for the last several years. I mean, just recently, I think Cisco, they just laid off about 4,000 people from their staff, which is 5% of their total staff. So I know a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are going through it. And here I want to tell you about one of my struggles, what I did during that process. And maybe you can glean and take something away from this to let you know, it's not over, right? The layoff is not the end of your career. The layoff is not the finality of your tech career, especially within cybersecurity. So let's just jump right into it. Let me go back. Let me take it on back. I had just recently got married, right? Me and my wife, we've been married for over, we're going on eight years coming up. And we had just recently got married. I was on a cybersecurity contract role and I was living it up. We were living it up. During that time, I was making more than six figures. We had just moved to a new city, right, together to start our marriage, to start afresh, to start anew. And one morning, we were laying up in the bed and I was getting ready for work. And I got a call. It was just a call from a random number, but it was for the area code for the place where I was living and working. So I got the call, I answered the call. And it was my manager at that time who had told me, hey, we're going to be pausing the contract that you're on. I'm like, pausing the contract? What does that really mean? Pausing the contract. And they went into more detail and they said that it was what you call a furlough, right? Or they call it an indefinite furlough, which means that, hey, you're still, I guess, quote unquote, employed by the organization, but you're not going to be working and we're not going to be paying you. And they were doing that because one of their main contracts had been cut off. So a lot of the funding to the project that I was being staffed for in that contract went away. So they were no longer able to pay me for the work that I was doing, but they didn't want to let me go as a resource completely. So they did something called an indefinite furlough, a furlough. You can look it up. I'll probably put a definition here. So they put me on an indefinite furlough, and the definition of a furlough is a suspension or discharge of a worker or workers on account of economic conditions or shortage of work, especially when temporary. So it's like they want to retain you as somebody to work for their organization, but they can no longer pay you at the time until those funds come back in. They were expecting funds to come back in, but that in no way was putting food in my mouth. That was no way putting money in my bank account. So, I had to figure out what was going on. So, really, I got laid off. I was laid off at that time. So, I'm having discussions with family. I'm talking to my wife about it. She's a nurse, so she was still able to work. And we also had a pretty good amount of savings. But it was just very unexpected. We were in a brand new city, brand new place. I was working and we were really building towards some financial goals. So not only were we in a different city, but we were also getting ready for our larger wedding. See, we had already gotten married early in the year at a local church, but we actually transitioned, or we were getting ready to have a larger wedding for the family and friends and everybody to come together back in our hometown. So it was a bit of a stressful time at the moment because we were looking at funding things. We were buying tuxedos, we were buying venues and cakes and all those things. And I had just recently got furloughed. Talk about stress. Talk about how you start a marriage. Okay, so that was happening. So immediately immediately, as soon as I heard that I was furloughed, I was not able to come into the office. I was not going to be getting paid by that organization. Let me tell you what I did. I jumped on the internet. I jumped right on the internet. I jumped on LinkedIn. I jumped on Indeed. I jumped on Upwork, which is a freelancing type of website. And I just started applying. I started reaching out to all different types of individuals within my network. I started applying, calling recruiters that I knew previously. I mean, literally applying to jobs and finding additional sources of income had become my full-time job. That had become my full-time job. At the time, also, we owned a couple of properties back home. So I was diverting those funds into our personal bank account so that we can make sure that we sustain. So, there were things that I was doing to move and shake and make sure that we had enough in order to live and in order to take care of ourselves, right? Because, it was stressful at that time. It took about a week or two before I started really getting back responses. And even meantime, when I went on Upwork, I started to apply for roles, just short-term work, whether I was doing software security reviews or I was reviewing network architecture. I was signing up for contracts for that. I was writing blog posts. I was doing a ghostwriter. It was really interesting, a ghostwriter role where there was a cybersecurity professional who was getting a book written about himself. And I was the translator, right? I was translating what he was communicating to the authors into cybersecurity language that was understandable, because the authors and the publishing organization, they didn't know anything about cybersecurity. So they brought me in order to kind of translate and in order to kind of make it more clear to them about what he was talking about. So I did a lot of work during that time in really making my full-time job now looking for additional sources of income and additional opportunities, because there was no way I was going to be waiting on them, right, in order to bring me back on, in order for their funds to come back, because I had to deal with stuff myself. Let me see, what else was I learning during that time? I was also learning that I had a very supportive partner, right? I had a very supportive wife. She was willing to work extra hours. She was willing to go in and do overtime, weekends, all types of things. She was just so willing to make sure that we were okay financially. But I kept assuring her, like, hey, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna make sure that we know what's going on. And, it was also interesting about this is that because I was furloughed, I was not able to apply for unemployment. So, that was a little funny thing that they had, because they didn't want to start paying unemployment, because that, again, takes from their funds, the organization. So I was furloughed, which was interesting. So then I started applying for roles, and I actually had got like 2, 3, 4 interviews within the length of maybe about 2 weeks. It took about 2 weeks for me to start getting interviews, talking to organizations and companies. And I had gotten a job offer about 2.5 weeks later, which was interesting because they had some type of partnership with the company that put me on furlough. So the company that put me on furlough needed to approve me to be able to work for this other organization. So now it became almost like a bidding war, or they were kind of battling for my employment at that time, because while I was there, I had acquired skills, a lot of skills that were not easily found within the market, right? I was working as a cybersecurity specialist for an organization, kind of like an engineering, nuclear type of organization. And the work that I was doing was not easily found on the market. They tried to hold up my offer for the other place in order to find funds to bring me on. I had negotiated a really good salary for the new place, but I had to keep waiting for the old place to approve me to go over. I started feeling a little special. So then I started talking to the recruiters and the people from the previous organization, like, listen, you're going to have to approve this, because I'm going to have to leave. I need to be able to provide for me and my family. I'm not about to be stressing about you all finding funds. And then the day came where the main recruiter, whatever HR individual, had called me, and they said, hey, what are you looking for in order for you to come back to us? These are the people that put me on the furlough. So I'm like, I'm kind of ready to leave, but I just threw a number out there. I said I need to be making somewhere around that 180 or so, 180K, a 185K in order for me to come back, because I had negotiated probably like a 150 to 160 with the newer place, right? And I just threw that out there because I didn't want to go back, but I'm like, well, listen, if I'm gonna go back, you're gonna have to, up it to another 20 to 30K more. And they said, okay, proved. So, right, I was taking it back because I didn't know that I was that valuable to that organization, because they put me on furlough. And I get it, right? Furloughs, if they don't have the funds and everything, that works, but they really were aimed at retaining me within that organization. So yeah, I ended up accepting that offer, and I went back to the organization and I worked for them for several months until I found another opportunity. But I guess the lessons that I learned was, one, having a very strong support system is important. Have a very strong support system. In my case, it was my wife, who was extremely supportive during that time. She wasn't like, oh, you're unemployed, you broke, I'm about to leave you, you dusty, you don't even have a job anymore. She was not like that. She was willing to step in and was offering support. Number two, I think it's really important to make your full-time job finding another job or finding additional sources of income. I found those in the form of Upwork. I was applying to Indeed. I was on Dice. I was on LinkedIn, and I was reaching into my network of folk that I knew had opportunities or were looking for people with my similar skill set. And then number three is negotiating. You got to negotiate, right? Once you find something, just because there is another offer on the table, I think it's important to recognize what your skill sets and the value your skill sets are to the market. So listen, you could negotiate to make sure that you get what you want. You aren't bad, or you don't lack value just because you got laid off. I want to say that. You do not lack value just because you got laid off. So when additional opportunities come up, make sure that you don't shortchange yourself. Now, I'm not saying that you need to, wait for another opportunity because you don't think that they're giving you what you want. But I do think that once those opportunities start coming in, still understand what your value is to the market. Talk to other peers, talk to people within your network, understand where you are and how to position yourself to get exactly what you want. So hopefully that story was there and it was helpful for you all, right? I wanted to kind of just be open about the fact that I've been laid off too. I was furloughed, right? I was dealing with all types of issues. And hopefully this is a struggle that can help to alleviate you from some of those, those mental barriers that you have after being laid off. You don't lack value just because you got laid off. This is just a time in order for you to be able to kind of regain, right, momentum, look for additional opportunities, because in my case, I actually wound up in a better situation than I was previous to being laid off, even within that same organization. So again, this is Struggle Security, where I'm normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. I communicated one of my struggles. Tell me a time where you might have been laid off. Put it in the comment section. We can chat about it in the comments. And we'll talk more and more about this. And hopefully this is some content that is valuable. Subscribe, like, and share this for more information. And come back again to Struggle Security, where we're normalizing struggling in cybersecurity.